Welcome to another tech video. So today we are going to be looking at a Dell Optiplex 5040 that we purchased off eBay. So again, this is a device that we're going to be using to swap out when customer PCs go wrong. So this cost us a little bit more than the last one, but this one is a Dell Optiplex 5040. It's a Core i5 processor, comes with 8 gig of memory, and this one comes with a 256 gig, I think it's 256 gig, it might be 250 gig M.2 SATA drive. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take a look inside it, and then we're going to fire it up to see what they've shipped with it. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to completely wipe everything off it and do a fresh install of Windows 10 on here. So without further ado, let's have a look at what we're getting inside. First of all, let's have a look around the machine itself. So as you can see on the front, we've got 2 USB 3 ports, 2 USB 2 ports, and a combined headphone and microphone jack. We've got our hard disk LED indicator, and then we've got our power button here with the power indicator in the center. On the back, this one's slightly different. So we've got 2 DVI ports. Not sure what these are, but I'll put the specs up later. We've got one HDMI, we've got our speakers or line out, we've got our COM port, we've got our mouse and keyboard PS2 connectors, and then we've got 4 USB 3 sockets, 2 USB 2 and a gigabit Ethernet, and our power there. So to get into the device itself, on this one it's slightly different. You've got a release catch here that you slide across to the left, and then the cover pushes back. So we're going to do that now to remove the cover. And then inside we've got, let's have a look, let's move down a little bit for this one. So inside we've got our fan assembly on top of the USB, on top of the Core i5 processor. We've got on the side down in here, we've got our PCI version 3 slot, and we've also got a 4 times PCI slot down there, which you can use for a wireless or Bluetooth card. In here is our 3.5-inch drive bay with all the connections for 2 devices. So this power lead here is for a CD/DVD ROM that doesn't come with the device. If you move this forward and take that out, in here is obviously the cages where you can add a 3.5-inch drive, or you can add a 2.5-inch SATA disk as well. So there's plenty of upgrade options. So now let's remove the front panel, which we lift up the 2 clips on the side and then the center clip, and that will just pop the cover off like so. Then we can release the lock on the drive tray, and we can slide this up and remove that over to the side so we can have a look a little bit in a bit more detail. Let's turn this round. Okay, so we've got our M.2 drive here. That is it's a Samsung 250 gig drive there, and in here we've got 2 sticks of DDR3, 2 sticks there arranged in dual channel mode, so that should be okay for its use. And then on the front we've got a fan that will intake air, blow it through the device, and the exhaust ejects from the back. And then on the side here we've got our power adapter, so DC power adapter. This is a 180 watt power supply for a small form factor PC. Okay, so let's get the device put back together. We're going to make sure that our cables sit in the right place. So we're going to attach our drive cage back in and bring our cables up. Once that's in, we slide this forward to lock it in place. Then we're going to add our drive cage back in there. We're going to turn the unit round and we're going to put our front panel back on. So you've got 3 tabs along the bottom here that just sit in the slots on the bottom of the front of the case. Like that, make sure that's seated in properly. And then we take the lid, pop that back on. You've got to push the catch back over to slide that back in place, and that's it all back in. So without further ado, let's get it fired up and we'll have a look at what softwares come with this device. Once we're logged in, the first thing we want to do is we want to go and have a look at see what software's on the machine. So if we go to your settings folder, let's make this a bit bigger, and we go into our apps. And we scroll through. What we're looking for here is just to make sure that there's nothing installed that shouldn't be installed, such as device cleaners, driver update utilities, that sort of thing that are just bundled with absolute rubbish. So we want to make sure that it's a clean install, which it appears to be. It is. So we've got our audio settings here, and we've got our Dell Support Assist, which is where the drivers can be installed from. So that doesn't look too bad actually. So the next thing that we're going to do is we want to go and have a look at our, let's go into our program folder here, and if we do a right click on this PC and go to properties, that's going to tell us, it's going to give us the information screen about our system. So okay, so it's a 6600 CPU, so we were actually expecting something a bit lower grade than that, so that's a nice little bonus for us. So you can see here running at 3.3 gigahertz, 8 gig of memory, and it's reactivated as Windows 10 Pro 20H2, which is the latest version of Windows. So in terms of the what's on here, it's the latest, so I think this is probably a fresh install, but again, as I mentioned before, what we're going to do is we're going to completely wipe the system. We're going to reinstall Windows from scratch, and that gives us the confidence that actually it's a clean version of Windows. In terms of Microsoft Office products, then we'll just bundle Microsoft Office 365 on here. Okay, so that's that. So now let's go and have a look at our device manager, and we're going to make sure that everything's installed correctly. So no exclamation marks down here, so that's good news. So let's have a look at the computer itself, the disk drives. There's our NVMe Samsung 256 gig SATA drive. Display adapters, Intel HD Graphics 530, so this is using shared memory. So you want to make sure that you've got at least 8 gig in one of these machines if it's using shared graphics. Firmware, no change there, we've updated the BIOS already. And let's go through and have a look at our storage controllers. Okay, standard NVMe Express controller, which is correct, and let's have a look at our serial bus. Make sure we've got USB 3.0, which we have. So this machine I think was from around about 2015, but realistically it's only had a couple of years use by the look of it, and it is immaculately spotless inside. So yeah, really happy with that. As I said, this was £160 off eBay, and delivery was fairly quick. It's a good, reliable machine, and the nice thing about these machines is you can wipe the disk, put a fresh copy of Windows 10 on there, and it will automatically activate itself and give you the correct version of operating system for the unit that you're using. So that's it for that video. If you found it useful, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you've got any comments, leave them down below. And just like to say thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.